Ripa reveals why she spent less money on sons Michael and Joaquin. Ripa has never shied away from being candid about her life as a mother, wife, and longtime television personality. Whether it's on screen during her daily talk show or in interviews outside the studio, she often shares humorous yet heartfelt glimpses into her family life. Recently, the celebrated host opened up about a subject that every parent can relate to: balancing family finances and making decisions that are not always equally distributed among children. Her revelation about why she ended up spending less money on her sons Michael and Joaquin compared to her daughter Lola has sparked discussions among fans and parents alike, bringing light to the real challenges of raising kids in different circumstances. This confession wasn't one made out of regret or guilt, but rather as an honest explanation of how parenting choices evolve with time and how financial decisions often reflect both timing and necessity. Kelly's admission has stirred interest because it underscores how even celebrity families, who might appear to live in endless abundance, face the same everyday realities as any household trying to juggle multiple kids and their unique needs. A household of high expectations. Ripa and her husband Mark Consuelos, both well-known figures in the entertainment industry, have long been admired for balancing successful careers with raising 3 children. Their oldest son, Michael, was the first to experience the couple's parenting style, followed by daughter Lola and finally Joaquin, the youngest. From the outside, many assume that children of celebrity parents are equally lavished with attention, opportunities, and money. However, as Kelly explained, the reality is more nuanced. When her first child came along, she and Mark were still relatively early in their careers, building financial stability and making cautious spending decisions. By the time Lola arrived, the family's situation had changed, but parental instinct also meant ensuring fairness without overindulgence. And when Joaquin entered the picture, the youngest sibling's journey required yet another shift in both parenting style and financial approach. It is within this context that Kelly clarified why her sons, Michael and Joaquin, ended up receiving less financial investment compared to their sister Lola. Timing makes all the difference. One of the most significant points Kelly highlighted was the issue of timing. When Michael was born, she and Mark were careful about how they allocated money. While they were already successful, they were not yet at the level of stability that allowed for luxuries without hesitation. Kelly has often emphasized that being mindful about money in those early years taught her and Mark the value of prioritizing essentials over excess. By the time Lola came into the family, their financial picture had improved considerably. They were more comfortable, had more confidence in their earnings, and felt freer to invest more generously in experiences, activities, and items for their daughter. Kelly admitted that this difference naturally led to Lola benefiting from circumstances that her older brother Michael did not. Joaquin's case, however, was different once again. As the youngest child, he came along when the family was already well established, but Kelly explained that parenting a third child often brings a sense of practicality. Items like clothes, furniture, and even toys were often handed down. Additionally, Kelly and Mark felt they had learned enough as parents to avoid unnecessary overspending on things they realized weren't as essential as they once thought. This cycle of timing and evolving parental wisdom meant that, unintentionally, Michael and Joaquin received less in financial terms compared to their sister, even though the love, attention, and guidance remained consistent. Different kids, different needs. Kelly also pointed out that each child's interests and personalities play a huge role in how money is spent. For example, Lola had passions and pursuits that required more financial investment. Whether it was academic programs, artistic activities, or lifestyle preferences, she often needed or requested things that naturally cost more. Michael, on the other hand, was more independent and frugal. As the firstborn, he quickly learned the value of making do with less and carried that mindset into his teenage years and beyond. Joaquin, meanwhile, followed his own unique path, particularly excelling in sports, which sometimes required travel and training, but also meant that spending wasn't consistently high in every area of his upbringing. For Kelly, These differences highlighted an important lesson about parenting. Equality doesn't always mean sameness. Providing for each child means recognizing their individuality and meeting their needs, not simply matching dollar amounts. Honest parenting in the public eye. What makes Kelly Ripa's revelation particularly resonant is her willingness to be transparent about parenting choices that are rarely discussed so openly. Many parents quietly worry about whether they've treated their children equally, whether in terms of time, attention, or money. Kelly's candidness helps normalize the reality that parenting is not about perfect balance, but about doing the best one can under changing circumstances. As a public figure, Kelly has often shared funny anecdotes about her kids, but this confession offered a deeper glimpse into her parenting philosophy. It wasn't about favoring one child over another, but rather navigating the ebb and flow of family life where finances, timing, and personality all intersect in ways that can never be perfectly controlled. Reactions from fans and parents. Fans who heard Kelly's explanation expressed a range of reactions, but many praised her honesty. Parents in particular related to the notion of unintentional disparities in spending between siblings. It's a scenario countless families face. The oldest child often experiences stricter rules and more frugal spending as parents learn the ropes, while younger siblings sometimes benefit from greater financial freedom or hand-me-downs. Some parents noted that their own children have pointed out these differences over time, often joking about how the youngest got everything new or the oldest had it tougher. Kelly's openness resonated with these experiences, proving once again that her relatability as a mother is one of the reasons she remains so beloved among audiences. Love over money. Kelly emphasized that spending differences do not reflect favoritism. What truly mattered to her and Mark was instilling values of love, hard work, and responsibility in all three of their children. She explained that financial investments may have varied, but emotional investments never wavered. She has long been vocal about teaching her children the importance of independence. For example, she has encouraged them to work part-time jobs and understand the value of earning their own money. This approach has helped them grow into grounded young adults, despite growing up in a privileged environment. Her philosophy underscores that while money can provide opportunities, it is love, support, and guidance that shape a child's character and future. The bigger parenting conversation.